So it was, and this is where training is so important now. This was an on the job, hey, go out there. This is the
FTO.
crime. Have the conversation and let us know with your deal signal to come in and arrest the guy. That's how it began. And it was out on the streets initially. We would do it a couple of different ways. We'd work out of a hotel room, but it wasn't where we would bring the guy back to the room. It was that's where we would start walking towards when they were parking or pulling around the corner to, park for us for the car date or whatever we had agreed upon. And then obviously working in hotels
Car
came
date.
later. Huh?
I love that you call it a car date.
Oh yeah, car
That's
date.
sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where obviously, you have to think about officer safety, whether or not you're going to carry a gun out there or not. And in Arizona heat, there's not really a lot of places I can conceal a firearm. So a lot of times I was not carrying, and I, had a good outline and briefing pre operation to know where my backup was. A lot of these sex buyers, the Johns sex buyers, they try and lure you away further down the road, behind buildings, all those things. So it really does take like a person to recognize and be constantly thinking about the scenarios that could be dangerous because it is fun, it is sexy, but it is also, we've had some incidents where we've had female decoys grabbed, touched inappropriately, and you don't want to have a situation where you're standing outside of a vehicle and they grab a hold of you and start driving and dragging you down the street and all those things. So it's being conscious of and being aware of that fine line. Like I'm a undercover, so I'm supposed to act like this is really going to happen and I'm really who I'm portraying, but also be officer safety wise. And those are things that I didn't get training on. I kind of just had to learn about it. I do now present and teach in undercover schools how to do those conversations, how to remain safe, and how to have a successful operation where you don't have decoys that are getting hurt. But definitely, when I did it, it was not. It was like, hey, get out there, go see if you can get a lot of dates. So,
Okay. Now, you know where I want to go with this. I want to
yes.
hear about some of the early failures.
Yeah.
Come on. I want to give me a good story.
Well, good stories are unfortunately where you have other cops that'll pull up on you, and you
Oh,
know they are,
oh
or
no.
corrections officers because they're wearing, their BDU pants and their work shoes, and you see, their uniform shirt on the passenger side of the car,
Oh
and you're
no.
thinking, yeah, you don't want to talk to me, but then they start talking, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess you're doing this. Those are
Oh.
those are awkward.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well, sir, you're an idiot. Pull over
yeah.
there.
I can tell you that the very first time I ever even walked up to a car, the guy was already masturbating himself, and I told him, "You started the party without me."
That's wonderful.
I know. I'm like, "Okay,
What do
I
you
got
say?
this."
What do you say? Hey, that's my job. That's what
Yeah,
I.
yeah. You started the party without me. What do
that
you need
is
me for?
that's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt. We just get like, the outline of a hand, a
Yeah,
little like a Mario mushroom on top of it and say, "Hey, you started the party without me."
yeah,
You can sell those in your shop.
yeah.
That's freaking hilarious. Okay. All right, all right. So let me get my mind right here.
Yes.
I'm trying to get more appropriate because I'm thinking
Yeah.
all the funny shit. Um, Now, as far as learning the language, there's a certain type of language. It's probably a slightly different in different areas of the country. I'm assuming, maybe even city to city. I don't know. But as far as getting to know that, did you get to watch operations before they just stuck you in, or were you just thrown to the wolves?
No, I was thrown to the wolves, but it's okay. I mean, it wasn't just me. There were several female officers that have done that before. There just wasn't any like structurized training. Terminology though comes in more to play when you're doing the undercover work in the hotels and you're actually posted up online as an escort and doing those engagements with sex buyers that we call hobbyists because they are ones that really get off on not getting caught and doing it constantly on a regular basis. And so they're the ones that will test you with language and with terminology to see if you are the police. Obviously, several other things that they do, but definitely knowledge of terminology. If you're posing as a new young person, you're not going to know certain words. So if you automatically know those things, that might put them off, or they get hinked up over all kinds of stuff.
Oh, by knowing too much.
Well, if you're posing as a 14-year-old prostitute, yeah, you can't know too much.
Oh, shit! I
Mhm.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I'm not a criminal, I guess.
No.
I wouldn't have never even put that together.
Yeah.
Um,
But
what
I've
are
become a very good liar.
yeah yeah.
Let's just say that.
Um,
Yeah.
well, the way I kind of look at it too is like if you ever go hunting, okay, the best time to go hunting is during the rut because
Mhm.
the deer are all sex crazed. They're not thinking right. Well,
Oh,
it's kind of the environment you're playing in. So
absolutely.
they're not exactly thinking straight. Now, what are some common tactics that these guys will use to try to prove that you're a cop or prove that you're not a cop?